Welcome to Reality, the show for teens, by teens, about teens. I'm JK, and I'm not kidding, and I'll be your host. Today we'll be talking about self-defense, and who better to talk about self-defense with than an actual black belt? I'm joined today by Christine Skarupa, a senior at LaGuardia High School. Christine, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Now, if we're talking about self-defense, I think we've got to start off by asking, what is self-defense?
Oh, well, self-defense is mainly protecting yourself and, your whole body and also your valuables that you might have, like a purse or something, and making sure that you're safe from predators.
Okay. What kind of predators could you have to face that you would have to use self-defense on?
Oh, so many. Like strangers that might see you as a target and try to attack you. That's, people that are dangerous to you. Or maybe even your friends who just want to fight or something and you need to protect yourself. So that's mainly what kind of predators we're talking about.
Okay, so why is self-defense important to learn?
Self-defense is very important because you might need to defend yourself in a number of situations. You could just be walking down the street and really feel threatened by someone that you see, and you need to defend yourself. So sometimes it's very important to know how to protect yourself and your body and feel safe when you're going somewhere.
Okay, now I've heard that a big part of self-defense is not just defending yourself, but being aware of your surroundings. What kind of surroundings should you be aware of?
Well, you should be aware of yourself and maybe whoever you're hanging out with, like if it may be a friend or a parent or something, you should be aware of that, and also aware of your valuables, your purse, or whatever's on you, anything, coming out like a jacket or something. You should be aware of where that is and aware of where you stand on the street or on a train if there's anyone near you. Awareness is very important.
Okay, great. Now I've got 5 tips here that are all supposed to be based on self-defense and ways that you could learn self-defense at home. Number 1, we've got look where you're going. Why is it important to look where you're going?
Oh, it's super important to look where you're going. Not just for balance and stability, but also to know who's around you, if there's anyone around you. If you're not looking where you're going, you won't see a predator that sees you as a target, or just where you're going in general. Maybe you might get hit by a car if you don't look where you're going, but you need to make sure you're aware of your surroundings.
Okay. Number 2, we've got wake up. Now this is a really important one for nowadays. By wake up, I think they mean, unplug your headphones, turn off your cell phone. Why do you think this is important?
Well, in the 21st century, we're really encompassed by technology that we have these days. And sometimes people can just zone out when they're listening to music, walking on transport or something. And you need to wake up and make sure you know what's going on around you. Yet again, awareness. So you need to make sure you know what you're doing and who's around you again.
What are some of these distractions, like, cell phones, transportation, iPods, and everything that you should be aware of?
Oh, definitely iPods and phones, like you mentioned. Sometimes people do this and use their phones without even thinking about it, and they don't know what's going on around them. Or if you're talking to someone near you, like a friend or something, you should be aware of what's around both of you. Even though you're with someone else, they might not be paying attention either.
Okay. Number 3, we've got maintain a personal comfort zone. Now, by personal comfort zone, I think I read somewhere that it said, 5 feet away from any stranger at all times, making sure that whatever you own is inside of your personal comfort zone, away from other people. Why is it important to have a personal comfort zone?
It's very important. So if you have like 5 feet around you, then you know what's going on around you. If someone tries to attack you, you find them, you can see them within 5 feet of them coming toward you, so you can be aware of what's going on. Also, so you know where your valuables are at all times, if they're not sticking out of that 5-foot comfort zone, and also so you know what's going on around you. Back to awareness, mainly.
Okay. What are the things, like some examples, that you could keep inside of your personal comfort zone? And what are some things that you should probably be better off keeping outside of your personal comfort zone?
You should definitely keep, like, a purse inside your personal comfort zone. If you're holding an umbrella, that should be in your personal comfort zone. If you're with a friend, they could be near you too. But things you want to keep out are strangers, other protruding objects that you might be walking by on the street, like, street corners. You just have to be aware of where that is. Just keep strangers away from you if at possible, especially if they seem to give you a bad gut feeling. That's never good.
Great. Number 4, we've got walk wide around building corners. Can you elaborate on that?
You should definitely, if you see a corner and it's dark out or something, you should be able to know what's on the other side of that corner. So there could be someone there waiting with a knife or something and you'll never know. So you should be able to walk wide around the corner, just enough so you can see the person on the other side. Or if there is someone there, just be safe.
Okay. Now, when they say that, I think they also mean just being aware of your surroundings in general. Like what time of day it is, where the street lights are, where any transportation is or could be available. What other things should you be aware of?
Definitely street lights, like you mentioned, especially if it's dark out. If you stay near street lights, you're almost guaranteed to be more safe than if you're walking in a dark alley or something, just to say in the public eye. And also just aware about where the street is, where the sidewalk is, and who's around you.
Okay. And last but most certainly not least, we have react. What kind of reactions should you have and what should you be reacting to?
If someone does try to attack you in that event, you should react loudly and aggressively just so the person knows that other people are going to be aware of what's going on. So if someone tries to attack you, you should scream, yell, do anything you can to attract the public eye so maybe someone else could get help for you, or maybe the perpetrator will be scared and run away or something. But you have to make sure that you can assure yourself that other people know that you're in danger and that you're unsafe.
Okay. Now, is there anything that you should react to that isn't a predator? Like, should you have reactions prepared in case something happens?
You could have reactions prepared in case something happens. Like I know some people like to shout fire or something when they're being attacked because people actually look toward where a fire would technically be. So that's a reaction if that's someone's personal preference. You could do that. But no matter what, as long as you're loud and move your arms around a lot and you know that people know what's going on, it's very important and that's enough.
Now, what's a good example of a good reaction if you're going to have one prepared, and what's a good example of a bad one?
A good reaction would be if you would just scream at the top of your lungs and wave your arms around a lot. That would probably be great. Or if you could just scream and back up a bit and try to see if there's anyone else around you and try to get their attention before the attacker can do anything. Or if you're just feeling really scared, you should maybe call a friend or a parent or something, or go to the nearest official or adult that you see that would know what they're doing that could take you away from this unsafe situation. A bad example of a reaction would be just not to do anything. And if you have that bad gut feeling, just to keep it in and keep on going with your life, because you never know, if you don't react to that, then you might not be able to get yourself out of that situation.
Most definitely. Now, I see that you are a black belt.
Oh, indeed.
Okay, so what are some things that you learned, like cerebrally, when you were taking Kung Fu?
Taekwondo.
Taekwondo.
Well, Taekwondo encompasses a lot of things other than self-defense, like form and discipline and respect. It's a lot of moral things as well as fighting techniques. So that's really good too. So we learned a lot of fighting and a lot of discipline and other good moral things.
That's great. Now, in our next segment, Christine, knowing all these new fighting skills from Taekwondo, will be teaching me a few tricks to keep you safe when you are learning some self-defense. Welcome back. Now, Christine and I will be teaching you some tips, tricks, and even some moves to help you better defend yourself. Now, as you can see, I'm not really dressed for the occasion, but luckily Christine is all dolled up in her attire, so hopefully we can get this show on the road. Now, Christine, where should we start?
All right, well, we're going to start with the most basic self-defense tip my instructor taught me, and that's how to get out of a simple wrist grab. So if you could grab my wrist with your right hand, and I'm just going to demonstrate really quick what it's going to look like.
Woo!
That's going to be it. So mainly what I'm doing here when he grabs my wrist is I am moving the smaller part of my wrist toward where his fingers meet, because as you can see, they're not really meeting, so that's the weakest part of where his hands are. So I'm going to move my wrist toward there, so it's easier to get out. I'm going to rotate my wrist out clockwise and grab his wrist. And that should also toss him off balance, and I could get out, and he won't be expecting it. It'll be really fast. It'll be great. So.
Sounds great.
Would
Now,
you like to try?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, pass me your wrist.
All right.
Okay. So I am going to rotate my wrist towards the smaller
other way.
side. Other way, towards the smaller side.
Yes.
There we go. Okay,
And there
then.
you
Woo! I'm learning today.
Hi, there you go. All right.
What kind of situation can I see myself in where I would have to do this move?
All right. Well, hands are very easy to grab sometimes, and that's sometimes where a perpetrator might first look to grab. So when you're not paying attention, they could just grab your wrist, and then you'll know how to get out of it as fast as possible if it works.
Sounds great. What's next?
All right, so the next thing we're going to do is something also pretty simple. It's where someone would come on and grab your shirt in front of you. So if you could grab my shirt here, I'm going to hold onto your hands here.
Okay.
And then use my body weight to move around and possibly hit the joint on your elbow, causing you to come off balance. And from there, I could get away. So that's the most basic thing there. So what's going to happen is, I'm going to put both of my hands onto his hand so I don't go anywhere, and also move my body around and put my elbow on his so he falls down like this. And from here, I could also strike him with my foot or something and just get away like that.
Okay.
So.
Now let me see how this works. So can you grab my shirt?
Yes.
All right. Both hands.
Yes, both hands.
I rotate my elbow this way, and then I push you down.
Yes.
There we go.
There you are.
This is good for all you people at home. All right.
Yes.
What kind of situation can I see myself in where someone is grabbing my shirt?
Well, someone on the street might also come up to you and just grab your shirt and try to be attacking in that way. So that would be a simple way to get them off of you or put them off balance so you can possibly get away from them.
Oh, okay, because the shirt's so easily accessible. Okay.
Definitely.
What's next?
All right, next thing is another hand grab thing, but a bit more complicated, and also with the other hand, if that's a possibility. So, Can you grab my wrist with that arm? And I'm just going to do this really quick to demonstrate. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so, simplest terms, what you're going to do here is grab onto his wrist and then go underneath him and put his arm behind his back here where he cannot attack back. And that's the main thing here. Would you like to try it?
Yeah, well, as you can see, I'm pretty weak. But you know what? You never know. All right,
That's okay. So, with my opposite hand.
I'm going to use this one.
Okay.
I'm turning you...
Both hands.
Both hands. It's turning you this. That's like a ballet.
Other way.
Other way, so like...
And then you're going to go under, too.
I go under.
Yes, keep going, keep
and
going. And then it would go underneath like
behind
that.
your back. Okay. Okay, let's try that one more time.
It is like a ballet, you're right.
Yeah, so grab both hands under and behind your back.
Yes, it takes a lot of practice to master here. It was very complicated at first to learn and to do quickly and efficiently. And also, this might not be the best thing to do if you're in this situation. Also, you can do the simpler one like I showed before.
Oh, but that one still seems to work pretty well.
It does, yeah. Puts them against themselves. That would work well.
What else you got? I want to be tossed on the floor.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do. Let's see this.
All right, so here's a simple one. Now you're going to, with this hand, put your hand on my shoulder.
Okay.
All right, so what I'm going to do, can you move in a bit?
Move in a bit.
Sorry. I'm going to go around you like this and use my back foot to sweep you around. All right.
She wasn't kidding.
Oh my gosh, both hands. There we are.
Okay.
Nice. All right, so what I did here, want me to break this down for you?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. All right.
So what I did here is move my left hand, dominant hand, out here. So now I'm basically in control of him here. I can strike with my right hand or my legs or anything because you're also off balance, as I can tell. Also, what I can do here is kick you to trip you, or any way I use my right leg in this situation and push him down. And that causes him to fall down. But there are a bunch of variations of this.
Oh, and it makes it hard for me to get up.
Do you want to try this out?
Okay, let's see.
Possibly?
Okay,
all right. So turn around.
You're turning around.
Oh, you're trying it?
Yeah, I'm trying it.
So you turn this way. Oh, you want me to go here?
Either way. All right, let's see. You turn around. Wait,
I'm
you're putting your... Okay, now I got it.
All right, so.
Oh, self-defense, it's complicated.
All right,
so you're doing that. I'm using this arm.
Yes.
Around back.
Yes.
And then
you can use one of your feet to kick or sweep or whatever.
And I sweep you down.
Yes.
Okay. We're learning.
Yeah, we're learning, but that's also more complex and also probably wouldn't practically work. So I wouldn't suggest you try this at home without a mat or anything.
Yeah, I don't see that one working on the street that well.
No, not on the street.
Where can I use that?
Where can you use that? Well, if you're trying to show off to your friends and you have a safe environment to do this in, you have some grass or a mat and you can show off that. Or if you do have this practiced well, then if you can do it quickly, it might work in real life.
Okay, and I heard you told me earlier that you have one really big one, and I want to see the
really big one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move up here.
Move up here. Okay.
All right. So first, move back a bit.
Move back a bit.
Thank you. Move back a bit. All right. So your right foot and your right hand, you're going to throw a punch forward. All right. So I'm going to block his hand, grab it, put him off balance, and sweep in. Pull down.
Oh. Ugh. This outfit was really not good for today.
Oh, no, it wasn't. So sporty. All right. So I'm just going to take
Break
this
it
apart
down.
for you. All right.
Okay. So I start by throwing a punch and stepping forward with my right
and
foot.
I'm going to move away from his punch and push his hand back and grab onto it so he can't do anything. I'm going to grab his shirt, push him off balance, and to add to it, hit him like a baseball bat would at his calf. So he would come off balance and fall down to the floor, and that's a really basic takedown.
I feel like a sack of flour today.
Would you like to try it?
I'll try it, but you're going to break it down for me while we're trying it.
All right, sure.
All right, so you start with your right hand and your right foot. You throw a punch and step forward.
Yes,
I
and you're
move out
going
of
to
the way.
move out of the way.
Block it.
Block it, grab it.
Grab it.
Okay, off balance. You like
Off balance.
off balance, and then use
And
that
then
foot.
sweep.
Yes.
Woo! I don't know why I'm cheering. I don't hit girls very often.
Nice job. All right. So that's the more complex takedown we've got there. I don't know if you would want to use this in real life. Also, it's very difficult if someone's just going to punch you on the street. So just put your foot out and be able to think it through and think through the stances. If you're not more advanced, then you wouldn't be able to do this easily on the street.
Okay. Now, while we're standing up and all energized, where can I keep things that I want to keep safe on my body if I'm going to be using these kinds of moves?
Okay, things that you want to keep safe. If you're having your purse on you or something, you can keep it close to you or, just as close as possible to you, just so no one would try to grab it or something, and that would be a loose article that could easily be taken or used against you in a self-defense, realm. So that you can do that. If you have a backpack, you should keep, both straps on, so it would be a lot easier for you. Also, if you have one strap off, you could throw it to the ground easily if you needed to do that too. Yes,
Okay.
mainly.
Cell phone wallet. Front pocket, is that right? Or someplace else?
Somewhere where it can't be taken from you, I mean, front pockets are fine, but if you're not aware of how pickpockets might be, or I know sometimes guys or girls have pockets that are like too short and their phone kind of sticks out and someone could easily take the phone out or see you as a target, that's not too good. So somewhere where it's hidden and deep and secure. Same thing goes for the wallet. And also so it won't fall
deep,
out.
secure.
Yes.
All right, now that's where you're keeping things secure, but what do you do if you lose your item? Do you chase after the guy? Do you stay stationary? Do you, punch him in the face? What are you gonna do?
You should avoid conflict like this in any way, shape, or form. You should, if someone comes after you with a knife or something, you should just avoid, back away, get help. Don't go after the person. It's really not worth it. Your life isn't worth your valuables getting taken away from you. I don't care if it's your favorite cell phone or something, but you really shouldn't go after it. Maybe tell an official or something. That would be the best way.
Okay. Now, I think that maybe for our viewers, we should just do one more quick review of the 5 moves we did. Just break them down one more time. Just make sure that we've got them in their heads, because I think this is important stuff, people. Here we go. Okay. Wrist.
Wrist.
I
Okay.
take your wrist.
Yes, this is the easiest one that you can do at home. It's pretty simple and it'll be fine.
All right.
Okay,
You
so you're going
turn
to
it.
turn around, grab the other person's hand, and then they're off balance, so you could do whatever you'd like. You could get away. They're easy to take with you because now you have your wrist on theirs. And
Why would
you're
you
out of
take them
control.
with you?
I don't know. Maybe you want to wait. The higher.
Just drag them to the police station. Go for it.
No, but if, for example, you have them like this, you could like pull them into a kick or something. If you're going for that, That's true. The best areas to attack are down here and the face area. Those are the most vulnerable. But if you would want to attack them back, if that's not enough for you, you can pull them into your punch or kick or whatnot. Like when I was training, we would use that to pull people in for like, you know, a kick or something. That'd be the best way to use it.
All right, so those are some cool things that you could do afterwards.
Yes.
What was the second move again? Just to make sure?
Just to make sure.
Yeah. Okay, that one.
The shirt one.
Shirt one, great.
Right. So I'm going to grab onto your arms.
Both hands.
And then use my body weight to push
Body
you down.
weight, push me down.
Yes.
And then
There
what
you
could you
are.
do after I'm already down?
All right. So
So I'm going to go down.
after you're down, if my dominant foot is back here, I could easily kick you or attack you from here, but that's in a martial arts point of view. After that, I can get away, and that would be the best thing since you're thrown off balance and you probably weren't expecting that, you know?
Okay, so getting away is always the first thing you do.
Yes, just get out of that situation. That's very important.
But just in case you need to, what's number 3?
Number 3, just in case, you can attack. But not super duper kill violently, just to get yourself back and stable. So you could always attack for the bottom area, as vulnerable as that might be. Yes, that's the easiest way. As most people might know, that's super easy to get away from an attack. Also, the face region is pretty easy to hit, and those are the most vulnerable. Or if you're looking for a takedown or something, the calf area, if you hit it hard enough, will cause you to go down.
Why the calf area?
Okay, the
It's sensitive?
middle of your calf, yes. That's just an easy, down here, like
Okay.
around here. That's an easy place to hit for someone to fall down. Yes.
Great. Now, what was your third move that you showed me?
All right, third move was this arm, and you grab my wrist.
I grab your wrist.
Right, and then I took it around and put it against your back.
Now-
And
I like this one. This one
Do
kind of like, you know,
you?
it makes me feel like I am losing all control. Like if I was a bad guy, I'd be screwed if that happened to me.
exactly, so that's the best way to use it. I mean,
Alright, so that one, just one more time. That was,
yes.
I grab wrist.
And then
You
I
turn
turn
around,
around,
ballet
and
move.
it goes behind your back. And from here, I could get away, I could push him down, I could do so many things. I could attack from there. So, yes, that's pretty useful.
I like that one. Alright, number 4. What was the fourth one?
Number 4. All right.
I put my hand on your shoulder.
Yes. And let's move up a bit.
Move up a
Running
bit.
out of mat.
You don't
So-
want to die.
So, I move my arm around you, and then I can push down here.
Ooh.
And then you can fall down from there as well. I got you.
But usually you don't pick up your perpetrator.
Oh, no, don't do that. Make sure you don't practice it that way. Just think to yourself, I am not going to pick my perpetrator back up.
No matter
Alright.
how nice he is.
Yes, no matter what he
Alright.
offers you.
And last but not least, my all-time favorite.
Your favorite
the
one.
fifth one.
Of course.
Alright, so that
Right.
one, I start by throwing a punch and stepping forward.
Going to move this way.
Move this way.
Yes.
Punch, step forward.
All right, I'm going to block,
Block.
make sure that doesn't hit my face, grab onto it, set you off balance, and then deliver a swift
Woo!
kick to the calf.
It's almost harder to get me up than use the moves.
So that's the main one there, and that will definitely send someone down, and it'll be the ultimate way
The
to get
ultimate
away.
way. It's like
Yes.
Ultimate Street Fighter here. Now, what are some tips and tricks besides the 5 main moves? What are some good tips that people need to know if they are going to be practicing self-defense?
If they're practicing self-defense, like at home
Anywhere.
or just anywhere, if they're using it just to get away from them as quickly as possible, like that last one, for example, that was pretty showy instead of practical. So if you're going for a practical way, just strike them in a very vulnerable region if you get that close. Don't go after anyone. Keep yourself out of these situations. Like we were talking about before, those 5 tips, those are all very important. Like to stay alert, keep yourself out of the situation. Avoidance is the most important thing.
Now, you just said vulnerable places. So you've mentioned middle of the calf, down under, face. Any place else that people should be aware of that they could, use a strong offense as the best defense for, as, words say, and kind of make their attacker vulnerable?
Those are the main places.
Okay.
Those are the ultimate ones, especially down here in the face. Those are super, like if someone gets hit there, they might be thrown off balance or something. The ears are very good because they throw you off balance as well. You could break someone's nose very easily. I would not recommend that, but that's also an easy place to go for.
Okay. And you've also mentioned multiple times, getting away from the situation. Besides getting away, what if you can't get away? What are some great ways to get help in whatever situation you're put in?
Oh, like we were talking about before, to make yourself known that you're being attacked. To scream or shout or something, or let someone that's in the vicinity know that you're getting, attacked or something, and they could go and get help for you. Because you shouldn't be in that situation alone. It's terrible, so you should let someone else know.
But what if you can't let someone else know? Like, should you always be able to put yourself in a situation where there's someone there that can help you?
That would be ideal. If you're walking somewhere dark at night, don't do it alone. Make sure someone knows that you're there and that someone could be with you. That would be even better. So someone knows, someone could get help if anything does escalate. And also, so someone, if they realize you're not home at a certain time, they'll go look for you or alert the police or something. So just keep yourself out of that situation where you're alone.
Okay, now going back to the impractical. I see TV shows all the time where someone will grab a vase or they'll grab a TV and they'll hit it over their attacker's head. Would you recommend that you do that?
I don't recommend that unless you're on TV or something and you're trying to entertain, then you do that. But that is not something that's practical. For example, if I threw a vase at you, it would just break and you'd just get more angry at me. That's not defense at all. That's just attacking. So that wouldn't work too well.
Okay, so that's just for the show. Like
That's just for the show. Just like that last one and the one before that.
So whenever you're practicing self-defense, you want to make sure it's not just for the show. It's about you being safe and protected at all times.
Definitely. Just so your life is at stake. Your life is at stake here. So you should definitely keep yourself protected in any way and shape, form.
So don't trust TV. Except for this. Except for this. This is good stuff, people. Now, if we've learned anything today, what do you think is the most important thing to keep in mind?
Just stay out of this situation. Just make sure this doesn't escalate so something bad would happen to you. Notify a friend if you're going to be alone late at night, or if you're feeling unsafe, let someone know. Stuff like that. Keep yourself out of the self-defense situation before you have to actually attack someone.
Good to know.
Definitely.
Now, I've been tossed around quite a lot today. I've got to say, this girl knows her stuff. She knows how to protect herself, and I think we could all take a lesson from that. Tonight we've learned a lot about self-defense, why it's important, different ways that we could keep ourselves safe in any situation, but most importantly that getting out of the situation is most certainly ideal. Christine, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
This has been Reali. Thanks for watching.